Emily Dickinson was born in Amherst, Massachusetts on December 10, 1830. Her parents were moderately wealthy and wanted Emily to receive a good education. Her parents, especially her father, were very supportive of her and encouraged her to study subjects like English, literature, Latin, botany, geology, history, and arithmetic. As Emily grew up, her teachers and members of the community frequently noted how bright and intelligent she was. When Emily was 18 years old, a family friend gifted her books of poetry by William Wordsworth and Ralph Waldo Emerson. Although Emily had always loved learning, she said that these books awakened in her a great love of reading poetry and novels. She borrowed novels from her friends and even had her brother sneak books into the house for her that her father might not approve of. As Emily grew older and more of her friends and relatives passed away from illnesses, she became increasingly melancholy and focused more of her attention on poetry writing and reading. In the 1860s, Emily began her most productive period of writing. At this point, she lived very secluded from society and mostly communicated with others through letter writing. Some doctors believe Emily may have suffered agoraphobia, which is a fear of open public spaces. Despite the fact that Emily wrote much poetry, fewer than a dozen of her poems were published while she was alive, and the poems that were published were heavily edited by the men who owned the publications. Emily died on May 15, 1886, at the age of 55. When she died, Emily was barely known as a poet. Most of her friends and neighbors thought of her as a gardener. 4 years after Emily died, her sister discovered a collection of 1,800 poems that Emily had written in her notebooks. Even then, the people publishing Emily's poems would frequently edit them, changing them from the way Emily originally intended to present them. It wasn't until 1998 that a complete collection of Emily's poems were published unedited. Emily's poems have been in print ever since her sister discovered them, and she is now regarded as one of the greatest American poets. Please complete 3 of the next 5 activities. Number 1, read one of Emily's poems. Share your thoughts on the poem you read in the virtual Girl Scout Lab. Number 2, learn how to write a haiku. Write a haiku and share it in the virtual Girl Scout Lab. Read and reply to your sister Girl Scouts haikus. Number 3, write an acrostic with your name. That is where you take each letter of your name and pick a word that describes you. For example, if your name is Emily, your acrostic might be E is for energetic, M is for mischievous, I is for intelligent, L is for laughs a lot, and Y is for young. Number 4, spend a few moments outside and then write a descriptive poem about what you experience. Creatively describe what you see, smell, hear, and feel. Share your poem in the virtual Girl Scout Lab. Number 5, Emily preferred to communicate with most people by writing letters rather than meeting in person. Write a letter to someone in your Girl Scout troop, or find a new Girl Scout sister in the virtual Girl Scout Lab. You can make it a one-time letter, or they could become your regular pen pal.